Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I'm new in the 2022 to 2023 annual catalogue. On page 137, you'll find that there are some craft notes, cards and envelopes. There are 20 cards and 20 envelopes, and also included is a coordinating box. So these are the envelopes, there's 20 of those. And there's also 20 cards. And the good thing about it is that we've also got the 6x6 craft card, which we can use to mat layers on if we want. There are these two extras. Now one is for the box base. This is the one that has got the wider panels. And the way to construct it is it folds over itself so that it gives it added strength. So you do the two sides first, and then you want to do this side with the cut off pieces here and the two slots. Pop those in like that, put this on top and fold it over, okay, and then you can do this side. Make sure the tabs are there. Pop up the box side like so, and then bend this in and tease the box base into the slots here. So that constructs your box base. Then you have this shallower one, which will be the box lid. So again, you want to pop these two sides in. Okay, then you want to do the bit that's got the cut off pieces here and the two open slots. So you want that down, turn these tabs in, pop that up, wrap the card over to form the box three sides. Make sure those tabs are in, and then you want to fold this over and tuck, then push these two protruding bits into the tabs inside the lid like so. And there's your box lid. Can't tell you how many times I had to do this before I sussed it out. So it's a no glue box. So we're going to be making this card today from the Bottled Happiness stamp set. You can purchase the punch and the stamp set together to save 10% if it's bundled, and this is called the Vintage Bottle Punch. So we've already got our craft card, note card, and this measures 5 inches by 3.5 inches when folded. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and it's actually a two-step stamping method. So this stamp, which is all in one piece, is the flower one, and this one is for the leaves. There's a demijohn, this is the label, and there's a cork, and this is the shadow piece, the highlight piece, and also a tall wine bottle. A few sentiments with a pun on the words. Sending cheer, wine not. Sending a little message, let's get into the spirit and overflow with happiness. And there's also a sprig. The inks I'm using are Pool Party, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink and Crumb Cake. And I also want the subtle Stampin' Write markers to draw my stems, and that's in Pear Pizzazz. If you're not okay about having green petal centres, then you can use a alcohol marker in a dark colour to go over it, and some linen thread. I'm using Stamparatus to help me line up the stamps. The beauty of using a stamp positioning tool is that you line it up the once, and then you can stamp to your heart's content without having to realign it. You can of course do it freehand and mount these on a block, but then you have to, you know, orient the stamp so that it stamps over and matches the leaves each time. So in fact this is a time saver. If you haven't invested in a stamp apparatus, then I highly recommend it. I'm going to stamp mine on a big piece of cardstock so that I can trim it down to the size I want afterwards. If you're starting from scratch, I recommend that you stamp the leaves first, because the leaves have got the flower centres, and then you can use that to line up your floral image. The other alternative is to wipe off the ink on these petal bits and then go over it with a marker pen in the colour of your choice. But I never find that satisfactory because you have to do it several times, and I'd rather use an ink pad on the stamp than a marker pen. But that's only just a personal preference. And I'm going to change inks and now stamp with Petal Pink. And the trick is when you're lining it up, the flowers fit in between the leaves. Can you see that? So if you line the petals, the centre of the petals with the green bits, which is the centre of the petals, in Pear Pizzazz, it would be just perfect. Now I'm going to leave my paper in situ and I'm going to stamp the bottle, and I'll do this in Pool Party, and I want to stamp off so that it's second generation, because I want the water to be fairly light. And I've lined the bottle so that the lip of the bottle tucks in the petal here. Or was it the one below? I think it's the one below. It's the one below, it's this one here. That's too pale, so I'm going to stamp it again. Stamp off again. Then I'll use this shadow piece and stamp it at full strength. Now I'm going to add a little touch and extend draw a line with the Pear Pizzazz Stamp and Write marker pen, and draw a line to the bottom of the bottle, because you'll be able to see the stems. And I'm going to curve that stem a little. So you'll be able to see the stems through the vase if it's a glass bottle, so that's why I've drawn some stems in it. Now if it bothers you, then you can colour the flower centres in a darker colour that will cover up the Pear Pizzazz. Oh gosh, does that happen to you when you take the cap off? Maybe time for a new pen. I'm just going to colour. So now I want to trim down my cardstock so that it is 3 1/4 inches. By 4 3/4 inches. think that I've cut off too much on there, so I'm just going to even that up. So I've cut another 1/4 inch off, which means I'll have to take off 1/4 inch here. So I'll take a pool party marker to just ground this. Apply adhesive onto the back of this and do it to the card front. Get the linen thread, tie a bow, trim off the end, attach it with a glue dot. Then stamp the sprig inside for the inside of the card, and this has been cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. So in metric that will be 8 by 12 centimeters approximately. Then glue that to the inside of the card. And there's the card finished. You can step it up a little bit. This one I used a new embossing folder called Elegant Eucalyptus, I think it is. And I also used the scallop contour dies. And I just stamped the sprig and fussy cut the message. And then this one I used strawberry sorbet cardstock. I cut 5 of them and laid them, so then I wouldn't need to use dimensionals to pop it up. This is the one showcasing the label. I also added the For Everything sequins. That's the inside of the card. And that's today's project. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back soon with more inspiration. Bye!